My name is Katie MacIntyre, and I'm your host for the Loving Cup Elevate Your Gratitude podcast. And today is Tuesday, November 28th, and I'm live from the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls, New York. So welcome. So I wanted to share a little bit again about gratitude. We did that just 2 weeks ago, but to remind everyone, really, what is gratitude? And I shared that Robert Emmons, who is one of the leading scientific experts on gratitude from the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley, shares that there was really two key components to gratitude. And he writes this in an essay called Why Gratitude is Good. And so first he writes, it's an affirmation of goodness, and we affirm that there are good things in the world, gifts and benefits that we have received. And then the second part he explains is that we recognize that sources of this goodness are outside of ourselves, and we acknowledge that other people gave us many gifts, big and small, to help us achieve the goodness in our lives. And with that, I would like to welcome my guests today, Vincent Gleason and Rick Martinez. So welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start off by having each of you introduce the other. So Vin, why don't you start and introduce us to Rick?
Okay. This guy over here is Rick. I've known him for a long time from my dad, and we started doing a lot of talking about gratitude charity events over the years. Relay for Life, the Trick or Trot, and many other events. And he's just a person like me that likes to give to the community, and you'll see he does a lot of events, readings for kids, and probably thousands of them over the last 10 years. So. That's where I'll leave it.
This guy over here, that's Vin Gleason. We met each other, I want to say around 2010, 2011, and we've been doing all sorts of fun stuff ever since. This guy has been the Energizer Bunny, just like me, just running, doing all this stuff, trying to get a lot of people out there to get back to their community, and in different ways. And that's what the two of us really do, is just raise the awareness and say, oh yeah, by the way, you don't have to do what we do, which is craziness, good craziness, but he's a pretty good guy.
Sometimes. Wonderful. So maybe you look familiar to people, but they can't quite place where they may have seen you before. Do you want to talk a little bit about where people may recognize you from, or some of the things you've done?
Go ahead, you go first.
Sure. I've always been one of those people where I just think that if you dream it, my dream, believe, achieve mantra has always been there. And, I've done everything from running. I did the Run for Life for almost a decade. I was a stand-up comedian for 2 years. I've been in multiple musical bands for the last decade or so, or even more. So it's just one of those things where I don't believe in just putting on any one hat. And then if I can use those vices to give back to the community, then by all means you'll see me playing a charity event or doing a comedy charity event, or I ran for charity for 7 years. So that's kind of how I like to do everything, maybe use my talents to give back.
That's great. And how about for you, Rick?
Well, some of you know me. I am the crazy pirate from Auburn, New York, who basically started back in the mid-2000s Captain Jack's Haunted Pirate Ship, which was a major fundraiser for the Calvary Food Pantry. From there, literacy volunteers came knocking on my ship and said, hey, would you like to come and read to the kids? And I've been doing that with them since 2000, I want to say 8 or 9. And we started out with Hollow Reed, and then after that, we started having me come and read with Santa. And now this year, December 10th, it's a Pirate Christmas with Captain Jack and a few special guests.
I saw that. Now, is that at Willard Chapel?
It's at Willard Chapel, 1 o'clock, December 10th. And me and literacy volunteers, and bring all the little kiddos, because the special literacy volunteer elves is going to be handing out some Christmas books and fun stuff for them. So, big advocate for getting kids interested in reading and helping out literacy volunteers and get more volunteers to come down and help out with the adults part of it. I'm the kid part of it. And they need more people to, help with that. So And also visiting hospitals and all sorts of fun stuff, and coming to all sorts of certain events like here in Seneca Falls and also in Auburn, and raising awareness and getting people to come out and do things. When I did Captain Jack's Haunted Pirate Ship, which was the last one I did, was 2013, it was an amazing thing because it gave people a sense of community, because they were coming down and bringing a canned good or two or bags full, and it gave them a bit of pride that they were helping out the community. And that's what it's all about, just raising the awareness, getting people to come out and do stuff and feel good about themselves, because when it comes to gratitude, what's even better is giving.
Absolutely.
That's the best gratification in the wide world.
And there's all kinds of ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if the way that you can do it is with a canned good, absolutely, it's important.
Canned good. I mean, I got a bunch of people that we loaded up a bunch of bicycles and brought them out to the state fair for that gentleman out there that fixes them all up and brings them to the kiddos for Christmas. So it's just those little things. Those little things add up to bigger things, and the bigger things just...
They do. It's beautiful. I love that. So can you each share with me something that, when you think back about your life, something that you're most grateful for?
Oh, I have a long list of those. But I think one that comes to mind is I used to help out part-time at the local Kinney drugstore back in 2010. And myself and management team there started a coat drive and I think a food drive, just like Rick used to do. And now I believe, as I've seen as of last year, they do it company-wide. So like Rick says, it's those small ideas that you might have that maybe helps out your community. Somebody else sees it, and then it cascades into a larger effect. That's what I like to do. If I can create an event that's an annual event that helps out locally or regionally or sometimes nationally, then by all means, I'm for that.
And plant a seed and see that grow.
Absolutely.
That's the most wonderful thing about any of this stuff, because there's a lot of other people that would contact me too, and it's like, how'd you do this? Just do it. You've got an idea, run with it. I mean, when I started the pirate ship and for Halloween, and having a safe place for kids to come and families to come and get a good spook for a canned good. But when I first started it and I was calling food pantries in Auburn, I had a couple of them ask me, what's in it for you? I'm like, there's nothing in it for me. I'm donating all the... So there's always that little bit of negativity, and you got to get rid of that.
Sure.
When someone comes to you and trying to offer their services, take it, run with it. Because when I called Calvary Food Pantry and I talked to Nancy Sheffield there, she went, oh, this sounds cool. What can we do to help? And then it was boom, it blossomed from there. And it was, almost close to 10 years of craziness that we did. So I'm thankful for my wife, who's a very great supporter of everything I do. I'm thankful for my core group of friends that I have that really believe in me. And I'm thankful for my family and my kids that sit there and go, that's my dad. And I want to be like him, and all those little kids that come up to me at Wegmans and say, hey, Captain Jack, I just came back from the library and I got a whole bunch of books. And the parents would go, how do you know that's Captain Jack? Well, he's in disguise right now. And my wife
this is
and
your disguise.
This is my disguise.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just the most gratifying feeling in the whole wide world that you've touched people in that
Absolutely.
way. So that's what I'm thankful for.
I know when we saw you here in Seneca Falls for L'Oktoberfest, and my son was like, "How do you know a pirate?" Well, you can meet him too. Do you want to meet him?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like me and some of my good friends, Santa Claus. We have, we've talked about this. How some kids are and don't know what to do, and the other ones are just boom. And it's really funny because the ones that just boom, they sort of fade away, but the ones that just went. And originally, when they first meet them and they don't know what to do, next thing you know, you're dragging from your leg and whatever, and it's crazy. So it's a lot of fun and it's enjoyable. And you have the ones with the tears, but then later on, they're hugging you. So it's just how you approach anyone or anything. So, and you just got to do it with an open heart. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that's why I give. I won't stop until I'm done.
Well, thank you. So you talked a little bit about your kids, and I know you are both dads. So do you teach gratitude to your kids?
Oh, absolutely.
Every day.
So how do you do that?
I mean, like, my kids were Children's Miracle Network kids from birth. So instead of being a story where, hey, we need help, we decided to turn our story when we did the Run for Life into, let's help other people like us that have the same issues. And just that's what we did for a decade. I ran for thousands of kids all over the country. And it was, my kids were at probably 80 to 90% of the events. So there were a couple years, I think you were at one of the events, my kids got awarded Volunteers of the Year back in, I can't even remember what year it was, 2011, 2012. But to me, that says that, they saw what I was doing, and they got the message of being a role model and taking that to the next level. And that's something my daughter's done, recently with her, with her group with cosplaying, how to make people feel better about themselves, how to maybe stop the bullying and by find other outlets, and that's just it. If you, through the events, through our everyday random acts of kindness, my kids have picked up on that and ran with it.
Awesome, good job.
Well, my children are pretty much the same way with, but they don't want to be in the spotlight. Okay?
Yeah.
My kids don't want to be in the spotlight. My daughter goes, I don't know how you do it, Dad. I really don't. She came with me one time when I was doing something at the Museum of Play, and she watched, and we were in between my show. She goes, I don't know if I could ever do that. And I go, what? I says, you see me back here, I'm bouncing off the walls and going crazy, making sure everything's just so. I said, but it's okay. I said, always need those people backstage, or, but they, at Christmas time, they used to have, well, I didn't really play with this toy. Can we donate this to the food pantry? Because I know that they collect toys. I said, yeah. Well, I've got some friends that got some. So that's their way of giving back. They don't want to be like that and be out there, but they want to do it, the silent way, or
sure.
And get some of their friends to do it that way, which is cool. And I think it's a great seed, again, planted, and people go from there.
No, and I love that you've both touched on really just letting and encouraging people to express gratitude in the ways that works for them. Mm-hmm. But I think also you can learn by example, and it's contagious too, and you get other ideas, and it runs. So I think I know the answer, but to this question. But before today, did you think a lot about gratitude? Do you think about it, or is it just something that's always been a part of your being from when you were a child?
For me, it's always been taught to me. I mean, I remember at a young age, my grandmother used to literally, I'd have kids over, she'd feed the neighborhood. So I grew up seeing those type of things, and I went, when I get older, I want to do the same type things. Now, I'm a really bad cook, so probably most people don't want my food, but I just decided to try to find other ways to give back.
And grow that community.
Absolutely.
Mine growing up and just watching and seeing other people do things and saying, I can do that. And I don't really think about the whole thing, I just do. So, and I always, if some people go, I had a young man from SU do an interview with me, and one person went, I really like this. You did not do it to promote yourself or anything like that. Everything is from your heart, and I wish I could be more like you. And I'm like, you can. It's not about me. It's about what I can do for others and put a smile on someone else's face. At the end of the day, to me, that's worth more than $1 million.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, life is hard, and whatever we can do to make it easier for other people, we must do that.
Absolutely.
So when you think back to your childhood again, or to young adulthood and growing your families, are there things that you're grateful for now that at the time you were absolutely not grateful for? Like just the wisdom of time and age has helped you to see.
I think I've always been a grateful person. I don't think there's anything I really have never been grateful for. So that's kind of a tough question. I'm pretty much grateful for every step in my life, whether it's been a hard one or an easy step or a tumble down the stairs and then a climb back up. Each journey it's there for a reason, and I'm just grateful that I'm still here to be able to give back.
Again, just like he just hit on, every little hurdle, step back, every little good thing, every smile, all through your life, growing up, and now with kids and all that fun stuff. I think that when it comes right down to it, you just have to be, in the back of your mind, you're grateful for certain things that happened, and some things that weren't so good that happened, but at the end of the day, if you can go to bed at peace with yourself and know that you're doing the right thing, it's all good. It really is.
And then you can wake up and be grateful you have another day.
Exactly.
Do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
To do it again, absolutely. So the last thing I wanted to just talk about is just your friendship, and you've talked a little bit about the things that you've done together. But are there things that you would share with people, like just experiences you've had together and seeing your friendship grow, just maybe some advice or some tips for people, things that they could do to be a better friend or to show their gratitude more to another?
Just be supportive, basically.
Absolutely.
Be supportive. I mean, just think about it. He does some crazy stuff, I support it. I've done a lot of crazy events and things, and he was very supportive. Sharing, letting people know that, hey, this guy's doing this. He's my friend. Lend a hand. And that's pretty much it. I mean, along the way is help somebody back up. Hey, I need a hand doing this. Do you mind coming and helping out with this event? Yeah, sure. Hey, by the way, do you know so and so and so and so? Do you think you can get them to come over and give me a hand? Yeah, that's all. It's a give and take thing. That's what a lot of people always think about. Who are my friends? Well, here you go. There's friends and there's acquaintances.
Yep.
Okay? The people that call themselves your friend are really your acquaintance. Friends are the ones that, when you give them a call, say, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
What do you need? I can do it. There's ones that call themselves friends, and you give them a call. That's not really a friend. That's an acquaintance.
Yeah, those are the ones that have bad reception.
And that's the ones that over the years you start to learn. It's like, okay, everybody, social media. Here we go, social media. Your Facebook friends are people that wish they were you. I just look at that. I just broke that wall again. I'm used to doing that, actor too. So, but that's the main thing. It's all great about popularity and whatever, but at the end of the day, I know who I can go to. I'll go and reach out to the acquaintances, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to help you. A friend is going to help you. And we've had a pretty good friendship over the years. And, it's like when he was at Finger Lakes Mall going, hey, you want to come read to the kids in the mall? Okay.
Yep.
Hey,
absolutely.
I got this going on. Hey, do you want to come? A certain band wants to know if you want to come MC for the opening. Yeah, I'll do it. Hey, Vin, those things and this, and this, can I buy those for that? Yep, no problem. I mean, that's what it is. It's all give and take.
Yep.
And nothing else out of it. I mean, that's how it's supposed to go.
And for the greater good.
Exactly.
And I can remember recently, it was about 2 years ago, like we even went out to, was it Utica? To show up for a band to help out. Mm-hmm. So it's not just local, it's get in the car and go.
So what do you play? Or do you sing?
I sing. Actually, I'm going to be featured on some radio stations coming up. I've been backing off the music stuff. I like doing the events and the coordination and stuff like that. But Rick and I, we were over at the Apple Station Winery not too long ago. What was it, about a month ago?
Something like that.
And we got really talking about, the trick or trot. I was talking to him. I want to bring it back. I got talking to the owners, and just a meeting turned into a conversation that literally within a week turned into a contract. And Trick or Trot was my biggest giving event of the year. It was at Falcon Park, it's been at Emerson Park, and now I can announce on your show, the first show, that it'll be back October 7th, 2018 at the Apple Station Event Center.
Awesome.
And then we're going to get back to giving, and anyone who would like to join that giving feeling can join up again, because I got so many people writing me and calling me over the last year that I decided to finally, I'll listen to all you people and we'll bring it back.
That's great. So for people who don't know Trick or Trot, can you just tell us what it is?
Yep, it's changed. It started out as a kids run for a mile, and then it turned into a 5K, and it was just a big running event where all the board would pick charities every year, and we'd give the proceeds to the charities that we picked. And that's really it. It was a gathering thing. I've got photos of schools, teachers versus students, where they dress up as. I remember Lori. I'm so bad with names today. Piscotti, I think her name is, and they did Minions versus Monsters or something like that.
Fun.
So people have fun with it, and that's what I like. I like to create events where people can have a good time, and at the same time, that good time helps somebody else.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be there running with my kids. And
I won't be running, but I'll be directing.
Well, no, you can't really run the race when you're running the race, right?
And he'll be handing out gold medals at the finish line, like always.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because I don't run.
Hey, every job's
The only
important.
time I run is from Davy Jones, but that's once in a blue moon.
So we're coming into the Christmas season, and I know lots of families have different ways that they celebrate gratitude, or they talk about gratitude with their kids and their families. Are there any traditions that you have in your houses that you want to share with our viewers, things you do to express thankfulness and gratitude?
This year's been kind of quiet. I've had a lot going on in the house. Normally over the years we've done we did a 1 mile run for the food pantries. We just a bunch of people would get together and run and bring food or canned goods or whatever, just like Rick did. I actually got that idea, the Christmas run, from his food pantry. So that's kind of this year. I think we're just going to celebrate a quiet year and relax and celebrate some calm before the storm that comes back next year, where we're going to be back out there again.
Good.
What we do usually at our house every year, especially around this time, and I also put it out on social media too. Hey, not only do they need food and it's Christmas time, you have gently used toys, you have some really nice winter coats, hats. To warm the children thing, we'll go and grab mittens and hats and go and donate that stuff. It's just go through their old clothes and sweaters and which ones are nice. And my sons and daughter, they'll sit there and say, how about this? And I said, that looks good. We'll just throw it in a quick wash and get it all and bring it down. In fact, I'm probably due to do that right now on Facebook and post out there. It's like, hey, go to Calvary Food Pantry. We got old winter jackets and stuff that are gently used and boots. Bring them on down, because they have a coat tree and they have a hat and mitten tree where people that come they can pick it off and take it home with them. So
that's great.
We just do stuff like that at this time of year. For me, it's my slow time of year, and there's only a few things that I do want to do, like the Literacy Volunteers thing, a few other things that I do. But other than that, just stay home base, get ready for the new year, and try to help what we can do right now at the holiday season. So that's about it.
Beautiful. Any other burning thoughts you want to share?
Oh, no, because normally when my thoughts burn, then it leads to 50 other thoughts that lead to 50 other events. So I'm just grateful that you had me on the show, and thanks for reaching out.
Absolutely. So that does bring us to the end of our time together, and I definitely want to say I'm really grateful for both of you, Vin and Rick, for coming in and being guests on the show today.
Absolutely.
And encourage all of our viewers to share your gratitude. And if you or someone that you know would be a great guest for our show, please let us know. And you can do that right through fingerlakes1.com. So thank you. Have a great day.